Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Friday, October 17th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5-card spread? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are the Four of Wands in its upright in combination with our Six of Pentacles in its upright. We've got a lot of energy that we're seeing, and I need to describe this right now. And I think that these are two very good cards to see in combination, because and I believe somebody used a word before we began this reading today that I think is a really good word to help describe this energy, and the word is potent, right? Now the thing about it is, when you think about potency is directly correlated to one's own ability to navigate through intensity, right? And so when energy is very potent, and I keep on getting, it's the space by which we can sometimes feel overwhelmed. It can feel like there's a lot of that energetic pressure. But one of the things, and this is why I kept on articulating that the type of energy that we're experiencing or working through right now is all about building proportionality as it relates to navigating potency, which is the space by which we articulate and understand what it is that we're putting our force of intention towards, and allowing that to effectively help us move things in a space of proportionality. And so I keep on seeing, with a lot of the energy that we're experiencing in this way, it's having a big impact on the frequencies. But most especially, one of the things that we're effectively identifying or working through has to do with the experience or with the conversation of what the manifestation goals are, is all I keep on seeing. And this is what and I like this, to see this for the energy in separation, because I just keep on getting the same messages coming through, right? When we are clear on our purpose, when we have that clarity of intention, then it helps us navigate through situations that lack direction. Because when things lack direction, right, instead of perseverating or worrying about why, just effectively understanding and recognizing what one needs to do to be able to move something forward effectively, it allows that space of being able to do something in such a way that helps one feel energetically safe, seen, and supported in the context of doing it. And so everything I keep on seeing in relationality to this right now is I keep on getting this experience or working through something in such a way that it feels like, I keep on hearing it almost, and I want to do more investigation as to this, but it's the space by which we feel energetically clarified in terms of I keep on hearing, not overly internalizing upon things that are not ours to over internalize upon. Now, this is interesting, and it is having a different impact depending on where we find ourselves on the frequency cycles. Now, you'll recall that we spoke about, for the energy in separation right now, I'm seeing 3 different phases of energy in separation. And I'm not surprised to see the fact that we're navigating 3 different phases for the energy in separation right now, because we're going through moon relationships. Now, the energy that is working towards something that feels like it is stabilizing, working towards something that feels like it's energetically healthy. Everything I keep on seeing in those modalities or in those experiences I keep on getting the space of identifying and recognizing, having those restorative conversations that allow one to articulate upon the force of change, being able to speak upon something and feeling energetically reaffirmed in it. Now, what's beautiful about some of those relationships right now is I keep on getting the sense of something that feels like, I keep on getting like the gift that they're giving each other is energetic liberation. And the reason I keep on getting the fact that they're having or feeling that sense of liberation is, remember how I said that these were honest apologies. These were spaces or places where they were articulating to one another how much something energetically meant to them. And so that's why I keep on seeing that there is this feeling of restoration, and that feeling of effective restoration is articulated or amplified by the ability to be able, I keep on hearing it's the energy that is almost looking back, right? They're looking back and they're saying, I recognize something there that I could not see before, right? And so I keep on hearing there's a lot of catharsis there. There's a lot of energetic support. And I keep on hearing that I keep on hearing the energy is going through a deep healing because it's giving someone the sense of some effort that was not wasted. Now, this brings us at the same time that is occurring, and we're going to see this a lot with the fact that Uranus is in Gemini, we are also seeing and recognizing situations and circumstances where there is an energetic sealed closure point. And why are we seeing the fact that there's a sealed closure point there? Because for a lot of those relationships where we're identifying that sealed closure, if these were experiences wherein, I keep on hearing the energy wasn't waiting for someone to come back, but they understand and recognize why the energy was in separation, potentially even the space. I keep on hearing these are relationships where there was some kind of argumentation point as it relates to a manifestation goal. I just keep on seeing the difference between someone coming back to be able to reaffirm their energetic commitment to the fact that they've changed, which is what we see right now for some of the energy in separation, versus someone checking on another, right? Like I keep on hearing the difference between I'm ready or are you done yet? Right? Like this, like that is the dividing line right now. That is the dividing line right now between what feels like it is moving forward in a positive, productive way versus what another person is energetically healing from. Because I keep on hearing in the realm of the emotions, when we're emotional, because there is a standard by which we are feeling emotional about, we never get rid of those triggers. Like trauma builds triggers in weird places. And this is what we talk about with shadow work. When we're working through shadow work, we work to remove the triggers that are the trauma that has triggers in weird places. So we try to remove the triggers that aren't supposed to be where they are, but we don't get rid of all of the triggers, is what I keep on hearing. We need the triggers that are positioned by standards because they articulate upon the aspect or the frame by which something is energetically important. Now this brings us to the energy that is building into new relationship right now. And I got to tell you right now, the thing about these relationships that I'm seeing that are coming together right now has a lot to do with the space of being energetically productive. There's something to be said about the productivity of these partnerships, because I keep on hearing that productivity is being able to move frustration into a productive place. You'll remember how I articulated that, and I think it's really funny because, and the reason I'm laughing is because those temperance relationships were very, very stoic, right? The temperance relationships were coming together between the time of the Uranus going retrograde up until the solstice. There was a lot of stoicism that we saw that was building into the heart of those relationships. They go through the work so that others don't have to. These relationships are not starting off in a stoic way. They're starting off in a way, and I keep on hearing they're starting off in a very I want to say they're starting off in a very what's the word I'm looking for? They're unfiltered is what I keep on seeing. And the thing about it is, and I keep on getting, this is different than the magician partnerships that we're working towards authenticity. Unfiltered is different than authentic, because I keep on hearing that the reason that these relationships are unfiltered is I keep on hearing the same message, which is if we like ourselves and we like what we see, right? So we are in our authenticity, then the ability to be energetically unfiltered feels like a shield, because the authenticity that is found within the self and the likability of the self combined creates an energetic shield where you heal from the illusion of rejection, and you see the space by which you understand that if you are being authentic and you like what you see, then if another person does not like you in that modality, it's an oh goody moment. It's a good thing. It's a positive moment. It's something that is supportive to the self. And so that's why I keep on seeing that a lot of this energy is like, I told you, there's like, they're charged. I almost feel like they're charged conversations is what I keep on getting. Center card for today's spread. Confirmation with the moon card. But this moon energy, I told you, we're going through moon relationships right now. The energy coming into divine union, this is a lot more difficult. Remember, I was talking about those temperance relationships. These temperance relationships, they go through it so that others don't have to. And I keep on seeing they're navigating the work of experiencing something that they can't go through. They're actually like hearing another having gone through it. They're understanding the full breadth and expanse of what another experienced in the past. And I keep on seeing that they're working through, I keep on hearing they're working through Neptunian lessons. And Neptunian lessons, and this is why I keep on seeing it's complicated, because I keep on seeing the space by which they want to do something about something that they recognize and experience happened in the past. But they're also resolving and understanding that when we try to touch something from the past, we make the past the present, is what I keep on seeing. So there's a lot of that energy working on in that work. And I keep on seeing that that ability of doing so, that ability of navigating through something in such a way. I keep on getting, there's a lot of volatility there. But the volatility is one that is, I keep on hearing, archetypal of them understanding and recognizing. I keep on seeing they're working in the space of building healthy, of being protective of the energetic sanctuary of the counterpart in relationality to what it is that they're working through or what it is that they're trying to heal, is what I keep on seeing. It's a lot of the energy. I keep on seeing the energy working through the space of them articulating and saying to themselves, I have to carry it the way that the counterpart has been able to heal from it. So that's why I keep on seeing for a lot of that energy, it's like I keep on hearing it's the solar plexus opening with the controlled heart space, because it's the energy that's not necessarily letting that emotion lead the charge, but being able to find the ability of finding room within the self to hold it. This brings us to our 4th and 5th cards in our 5-card spread for the energy deep within divine union right now. Knight of Pentacles in its upright with the Chariot. These cards should look familiar. They were in our reading yesterday. We find them here again today. They were deeper in the spread yesterday. This Pentacle card was almost all the way down to our ultimate card yesterday. The Chariot was higher up, but now the Chariot's in its upright. It's interesting. Remember how I said that the temperance relationships were all about stoicism, going through something so that another doesn't have to? The energy deep within divine union right now, those magician relationships, these are the relationships that were coming together between the solstice period up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. They're now getting a quick, I keep hearing they're getting a quick primer in stoicism. And why do we see that they're getting a quick primer in stoicism? Because understanding that stoicism isn't about disassociating. It's not about a lack of feeling. It's about feeling. I keep wondering, it's like working through the intensity of emotions, but still doing what one has to do or moving in accordance to that energetic direction. So I keep on seeing, like, that's why I keep on hearing the energy deep within divine union going through that maturation process, and they're moving through complicated situations, and they keep on saying to themselves, healthy energy wants to see us steadfast, which is the space by which another works. I keep on hearing works to do something in such a way, does not, and I keep on hearing if these are relationships where they've never felt more centered, and it's having a deleterious impact on another to see someone centered. I keep on seeing the energy that is feeling it's like recalibrating a relationship, but even in the space by which they're recalibrating upon the relationship, it's building upon the determination that they feel in feeling the security of knowing that they're moving in the right direction. Continuing to get clarification between our Four of Wands in combination with our Six of Pentacles in its upright, we have here our Nine of Cups in its reversal. So, it's very, how do I put this best? For the energy that is in separation right now, it's interesting. I just keep on hearing unfiltered. Unfiltered. Now, the reason I keep on seeing the fact that the energy in separation is working towards being unfiltered is I just keep on hearing the same message coming through, which is it's okay. We feel comfortable in being unfiltered so long as, right? So long as the two conditions are met by which we know, like we find our authenticity. And we like who we see. So when we know our authenticity and we like who we see, it allows us the gift of being able to be unfiltered, because it's the space by which we feel the ability to stand in our unfiltered state from a place of strength, from a place of energetic support. And so that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, I keep on hearing there's a lot of potential conversation that is happening in separation. And I keep on getting that, and it's so funny because it's the opposite. It's the absolute opposite as it were, in relationality to working through the context or working through the direction of the energetic support that we effectively see in relationality or in correlation to the ability to work through something in such a way that it feels like it energetically empowers the self. And so I keep on getting that the energy in separation is moving towards manifestation via the empowering conversations. They're either, again, the energy that's coming into restoration or resolution is feeling the energetic empowerment point in the context of, I keep wondering, they're finding the energetic empowerment point in the context of the space by which they're able to energetically arise to the observation of something in the past that another person is now articulating and saying to another, I understand now. I understand one's position. I understand the circumstances that one went through. So there's a lot of, I keep on hearing energetic harmony in those moments. For the energy that is coming into sealed closure of circumstances or situations, I just keep on seeing that something about building into that point of restoration or resolution has to do with the modality or the experience of, again, building into the context of feeling energetically supportive in the space by which they carried emotions on something, right? The emotions that feel validated via the energetic reason of such, being able to feel energetically validated in those modalities or in those experiences, wherein the energy that is building into new relationship, they're feeling that point of being unfiltered that acts as a source of protection, because it's the energy that works to be okay with the self. And when they're feeling okay with the self and authentic in the self, then being unfiltered helps us to identify and recognize what's in alignment to us versus what something is that we're moving away from. This brings us to the energy that is moving deeper into divine union right now. Clarification between our Six of Pentacles in its upright in combination with our Moon card in its upright. We've got here the Nine of Pentacles in its reversal. Now, the thing with the Nine of Pentacles in its reversal. The thing with the Nine of Pentacles in its reversal has a lot to do, I keep on saying it has a lot to do with working through the context of frustration. It's working, I keep on hearing it's working through I keep on hearing it's and I keep on getting this right now. And this is what we keep on seeing in relationality to, I keep on hearing in relationality to healthy partnership. It's continuing to come through. When we are too much in our higher self, like, and this is what we talk about finding the energetic balance point. When we are moving, the higher self has an inclination to over internalize, right? It's the observation of being able, and I keep on saying it's the force of care by which we often, and I keep on hearing the force of compassion must be navigated in relationality to what it is that we can do energetically better, right? And this is why we talk about the space by which, and I keep on hearing like the force of compassion is the calibration point by which we're able to navigate things with a sense of proportionality. So that I keep on hearing like that state or that space by which we're able to navigate those proportions is effectively how we effectively protect the higher self. Because when we recognize that the higher self has a tendency of over internalizing, then we understand that healthy relationship navigates with healthy boundaries, right? Now, this is important because we understand that the egoic self has a tendency of projecting, right? And so when we're doing that work effectively, right, and I keep on seeing the space by which we energetically project is not the space by which we're projecting something that we're not willing to internally work on within the self. It's the space by which we're energetically balanced in terms of something that we're working on within versus something that we're identifying and seeing without, right? I keep on hearing like, and it's not surprising that we're having these messages because it talks about the balance point in proportionality, right? And I keep on hearing the way we move towards our higher self is navigating situations proportionally. Now, this is also important because, and this is what I mean, because when we're talking towards counterpart right now, and this is what I keep on seeing that's happening right now with the energetic complication of some of the energy that is navigating right now in union, coming into divine union. They're working through a circumstance or situation where they're experiencing or they're building into the breadth of what another person experienced, right? They're feeling the full scope or they're experiencing the full scope of what another person went through, or they're articulating upon it, or they're sharing it, right? They're sharing more with each other. And the space by which they're sharing more immediately creates the space by which they want to do something about it. They want to be energetically reactive. There's something about the desire to have a heart opening, which is the space of saying why I oughta, right? It's the space by which another person identifies or recognizes what it is that they would like to do about a situation. But they're also working through the Neptunic lesson of understanding that when we have a lot of feelings for something that already happened and we go ahead and touch something from the past becomes the present. So this is the energy that sees a situation or circumstance where counterpart potentially brought something forth to them and articulated the fact that it's no longer centered in their experience. It's something that they're trying to move beyond or past. But the desire or the feeling of wanting to center it in the counterpart is what's creating a lot of that. I keep on hearing it's creating a lot of that frisson, if you will. And so I keep on seeing that is the energy that's working upon the pathwork of energetic expanding. And I keep on hearing the space by which they're articulating to the self that they're honoring the sanctuary that effectively the counterpart has created for the self. Because I keep on seeing that is the energy that says when we recognize someone having gone through a healing journey and they articulate the fact that the past is the past, the ability to reawaken the past because we have feelings about it will often have to create the space by which an energy has to like go through it all over again. It's like the space by which they're discovering a trauma, and they're equally trying not to center that trauma is what I keep on seeing. Continuing to get clarification between our Moon card and our Knight of Pentacles in its upright. Two cards to clarify. We have here the Queen of Cups in its upright in combination with the Page of Swords in its upright. So for a lot of the energy right now, that is moving deep within divine union, and it's really fascinating the fact that we've got the Queen of Cups with the Page of Swords here. What we're effectively identifying or recognizing in these modalities has a lot to do, I keep on seeing, with the observation and recognition of, and I keep on hearing the energy deep within divine union is going through an awakening process. And what's hard about it is they're going through an awakening process based upon and built upon the maturation of the energy outside of partnership. That is what's effectively happening to those magician relationships. And that's what's so difficult or devastating. They're going through they're going through an awakening process upon the maturation of the energy outside of partnership, because this is often what happens when we're going through Saturn returns. When we're going through Saturn returns, it is often the observation that is articulated by the space by which we know we're moving in a direction that we know is best for us. But energy that has not matured in the same timing as we ourselves do will often articulate upon the fact that they feel that we're moving in the wrong direction. This is quintessential that happens during Saturn returns. So that is why I keep on seeing that this is something that is happening that's very energetically emotional. Because if this is the energy that feels stabilized within partnership, they recognize and identify that they've never felt better. If they're going through a moment by which they've never felt better, but energy outside of partnership has never been acting worse, then it is often the articulation of awakening to the fact that the energy outside of partnership is not maturating at the same state as the energy within partnership. And that is why we see that for a lot of the energy navigating through that, it's energetically emotional, and it's potentially even recalibrating their perception on some relationships outside of partnership. But I keep on seeing the space by which they're seeing things that hurt, but they're also feeling energetically fortified in relationality to the feeling of knowing that they're moving in the right direction. I keep on hearing it's a very heavy maturation process, continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Pentacles in combination with our Chariot card in its upright. One card to clarify, please. We've got the Ace of Cups. I got to tell you, these cards right now, it's like I keep on seeing, I keep on hearing it's productive, right? It's working through what feels energetically productive. There's something about that. I keep wondering, there's something about that productivity point. And I keep on hearing, and that's the reason I keep on hearing productive when I read into the energy, in separation, is I just keep on hearing like productive feels like it's energetically getting somewhere, is what I keep on seeing. And I keep on getting that when we're building into the context of being energetically productive, I keep on hearing productivity is the conversation on what gets us there, is what I keep on seeing. And so the reason I keep on hearing that there's something about productivity that's happening for the energy in separation. And I think it has a lot to do, and I need to stress this right now. This has a lot to do with the fact that we talked about there's something that's happening right now for the energy in separation. These new relationships that are coming together, that are almost articulating upon the space of saying in order to go forward, they have to go backward. I'm not surprised to be seeing this right now, because of the fact that we see that Neptune is about to move back into Pisces. I told you there's a little bit of wryness that is happening in these new relationships. There's such an alignment to manifestation goals that they're looking at each other with a sense of healthy cynicism, which is, I keep on hearing, the cynicism by which they're holding hope for the future, but they're not allowing that hope to distort their energetic perception in terms of the direction. Further, these energies have been hurt before by someone who has not done their shadow work effectively. So that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of these relationships, doing that work, they're effectively, I keep on hearing, they're recognizing and like I keep on hearing, they're coming towards each other in an unfiltered way, and they're feeling the release and the relief of someone that does not take their unfiltered self personally. Because I keep on hearing that the space by which, and I keep on hearing, if we're good with ourselves and we like who we see, then the unfiltered part of us becomes an energetic shield. It filters us from those that are not in alignment to us. So everything I keep on seeing that's happening there's a lot of that energy that is like I keep on hearing they're finding their confidence, and further they're learning more about each other in the process, continuing to get clarification between our 9 of Cups in its reversal and the 9 of Pentacles in its reversal. So we've got double reverse 9s here. One card to clarify. Woo, we got the Sun card, my friends. We've got the Moon and the Sun card out today. Bearing in mind, and the thing about that's very, like, we're gonna talk a little bit about that right now, and this is very intriguing because we just did our class on the Moon card this week. We'll be doing the next class that we're having on the Sun card. That'll be next month on November 13th. But the thing about it is, and it's a conversation in relationality to doing our shadow work effectively, is what I keep on hearing. And again, we always talk about this here. I know shadow work sounds like a spooky word. It's not a spooky thing. Shadow work is effectively understanding the space by which we carry triggers, because trauma builds triggers in weird places. Some triggers are healthy, right? A trigger that's next to a standard is supposed to be there, but a trauma that is built, that has a trigger in a weird place, is often indicative of something that we're working to rectify or resolve or to heal within the self, right? And so the thing about this is I'm getting like the energy. The reason I keep on seeing, like, this is why, like, the energy that is coming together right now is assessing. They're not just assessing the manifestation goal. They're assessing whether the self knows thyself, is what I keep on hearing. They're assessing to see if they know thyself, because it's not enough to have a manifestation goal. You have to know the self enough to be able to understand and recognize what you need to bring forth within the self in order to move towards or in accordance to that manifestation goal. So everything we keep on seeing in relationality to that work right now, I keep on seeing it's working through the energetic proportionality of, and I keep on seeing, like, it's like, it's really funny. It's like the energy and separation is sussing out whether they've done their shadow work effectively, is what I keep on seeing. And I keep on hearing too, like, that's why I keep on hearing the energy that says in order to go forwards, one has to go backwards, which is the ability to recognize and identify the experience of the self that has brought one to the introduction to another. That's effectively, I keep on hearing, they're finding that stabilization point beyond just the articulation of a manifestation goal. Now, for the energy that's coming into divine union right now, those temperance relationships, clarification between our 9 of Pentacles in its reversal, the Queen of Cups in its upright, and the Page of Swords in its upright. One card to clarify, we've got here the World card in its reversal. Now, the thing with, I keep wondering, the thing with the World card in its reversal, in combination with the Moon card, has to do with not over-internalizing external problems. Not over-internalizing external problems. So that ability of doing so, right, like that experience or that modality by which another effectively works through something. I keep on seeing that, and I want to describe this right now, because I keep on getting the work that we have to do in relationality to the self is often identifying and recognizing and feeling energetically stable in relationality to what feels proportional. And I keep on seeing that when we're doing that work and navigating things proportionally, I keep on hearing we don't overly internalize upon things, and we also don't overly project. And I keep on hearing that doesn't mean that there aren't things that we articulate that we would rather do more effectively. There's always something that we would like to kind of move, like, again, the space by which we energetically project is what I keep on getting, is the space by which we understand. And I keep on hearing the difference between projection and having a compassionate conversation is the difference between articulating upon the way that an emotion makes us feel versus why we feel the way that we do. And this is why we talk about how we have to do the work to understand the self. Because when we don't understand ourselves, we burden each other with our feelings, right? I'm angry with you. That's not helpful, right? You can articulate anger towards anything, right? You can be angry you can be emotional and just be having an angry day. But when we understand the difference between why we feel the way we do, we are able to articulate upon that emotionality in order to bring about better energetic results or better energetic breakthroughs. And so everything I keep on seeing there is, and I feel like that's what's interesting. And the reason I feel like this is coming through right now is the energy, the way that the energy is navigating the emotionality that they potentially feel in relationality to something that has happened in the past, is they're hashing it out with each other. And I keep on hearing the space by which they're hashing it out, not to articulate upon the energetic frustration with one another, but almost, I keep on hearing, to siphon off the emotionality that they feel about a past experience that they cannot touch, is what I keep on seeing. So they're almost, again, they're allowing the space of the relationship to act as sanctuary in relationality to articulating upon their strong feelings for something that energetically occurred and what they would like to do, but what they will not do, is what I keep on seeing. It's a continuation of another person saying to another, I have strong feelings about something, but I'm going to honor your healing journey, is what I keep on seeing. Continuing to get clarification between our Queen of Cups, our Page of Swords, and our Ace of Cups in its upright. One card to clarify, we have here our Eight of Cups in its reversal. And the thing with the Eight of Cups in its reversal speaks to us. I keep seeing it speaks to us specifically in relationality to, and this is what's so fascinating. Like the last few weeks readings have been so fascinating because the energy that is moving into divine union is working through Neptune lessons. And Neptune lessons basically say to us, you can't touch Neptune's stuff, right? Why are they Neptune lessons? Because when you touch Neptune's stuff, it becomes your stuff. Okay. It's a lot of that, it's a lot of that space is what I keep on seeing, like the observation of allowing the past to be the past. The energy that's moving deeper into divine union right now is working through Saturn lessons. What is Saturn lessons? Saturn lessons say that some things you can't touch in the present because you ruin the ability to heal them in the future. That the ability not to touch something in the present, sometimes touching something too much in the present ruins the ability to energetically heal something in the future. And that's why I keep on seeing that for some of that energy or some of those situations, working through those rough feelings, seeing something outside of partnership that's potentially devastating the self. I keep on hearing the energy that is effectively kind of working through something in such a way that's like, I keep on seeing the energy that's saying like better, not bitter, like trying to work through something and letting it go with the hope that something can energetically resolve when another person comes into a deeper state of maturation. Because I keep on hearing like that's the thing with the maturation cycle is I keep on hearing you can't force someone to become more energetically mature, right? You just have to recognize whether they are, is what I keep on getting. Continuing to get clarification between our Sun card in its upright and the World card in its reversal. We've got here the Lovers card in its reversal. Now, let's get back into the energy that we're seeing in separation right now. So for the energy in separation, you know, I got to tell you, and this is what I mean about like, there's something really important about, there's something really important coming through in relationality to, I keep on hearing there's healthy relationship requires hard work, and healthy manifestation requires hard work as well, is what I keep on seeing. And this is why I feel like this is what's so difficult for some of these new relationships that are coming together right now, these moon partnerships, is because I keep on seeing that there's something about the articulation of the manifestation goal that isn't cutting it in terms of their ability to feel that another person has what it takes to get there. Because I keep on seeing that this energy has been hurt before by others that have not done their shadow work effectively. And how can we usually tell when we're being wounded by another person's lack of shadow work? And someone being like, I would love to be like, oh, you'll see it often when someone is like, I want to be in partnership. Okay, tell me about your past relationships. There was a bunch of energy obsessed with me. Can you define what you mean by obsessed? They would call me all the time. They always wanted to know what I was doing, right? And you get into the space of talking to someone, you go, oh, wait, you don't want a relationship. You're articulating that you haven't found the perfect relationship, but you're identifying all of the qualities and characteristics that one would aspire for in a healthy partnership, but you're articulating them as a negative, as a positive. It's very easy to state that one wants something, but not embody the qualities and circumstances that one needs in order to energetically maintain it. So that's why I keep on seeing that for some of the energy, this is why these relationships, I told you, they're coming towards each other with a healthy sense of cynicism, because they hear the manifestation goal, it feels right, but they're attuning as to whether another person has the energetic conviction in order to be able to carry upon what it is that they articulate that they want to say. So that's why I keep on hearing, and again, we've got Neptune going back into Pisces. In order to go forward, they're going backward. They're saying, tell me a little bit about your past relationships. Tell me a little bit about what you energetically experienced, because they're utilizing that as a pathwork of discernment to recognize and identify the space by which we see whether there is an energetic accordance point between what it is that they articulate that they're looking for versus how they are energetically moving to get there. Because I keep on hearing like this is the incongruity. We have to know ourselves. And this is why we talk about the fact that the only way you have healthy partnership is if you know yourself. Because when you know yourself, you understand and you recognize what it is you have to embody in order to maintain that type of energetic connection. You cannot state that you want healthy relationship and then get upset when someone starts to become obsessed with you. That is mutual obsession is the name of healthy partnership. You can't be articulating that you want something that is energetically consistent and then not arrive to counterpart in a consistent fashion. That the space by which often another articulates that they want a manifestation, it's not the fact that they're looking for a manifestation, but they're looking for a one-sided manifestation. This is effectively why the energy is approaching each other with a sense of trepidation. They're saying, I know what you want, but are you looking for something that is energetically proportional to the energy that will also be in the manifestation with you? Libra energy. Continuing, because if not, this is often why we sometimes lose or move away from one-sided partnerships, which is the space by which you articulate the fact that you want something, but then you're never in the modality by which you yourself are also delivering it. Continuing to get clarification between our World card in its reversal in combination with the Eight of Cups in its reversal. Can I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Eight of Wands in its reversal. We've got a lot of similarity right now in the cards. I got to tell you, I just want to show you some of all of the similarities that we're seeing, some of the parodies that we're seeing right now in these cards. We've got double nines out. Okay, so we've got double nines out here with the Nine of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Nine of Pentacles in its reversal. We've also got the Eight of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Eight of Wands in its reversal. Now, what does that speak to us about? It talks a lot, and I'm not surprised to see this here. This is what we're going to expect when we've got, this is what we're going to expect when we've got a lot of, when we've got Gemini, when we've got Uranus retrograding in Gemini. It can create a lot of chirality. It can create a lot of chirality. And what is chirality? It's the understanding that things can sometimes look the same but be very, very different. The pathwork of energetic intention is such that the articulation of our intention fortifies the energetic direction that we're moving towards. And that's why we also talk about the fact that no two relationships are the same. There's no patch. There's no secret. There's no secret ingredient that you can bring to a relationship that's going to resolve or fix it. Relationships are effectively, every relationship is a different conjuration of elements. It's a different combination of forces. And so that's why we often see, and this is why I keep on seeing, this is the reason that this is coming through right now for the temperance relationships is that they are working on, I keep on seeing, they're working on the experience and the modality of understanding what another energy had to do in order to energetically heal from something is what I keep on seeing. And the reason I keep on seeing that there's a lot of emotionality that may be arising in these experiences or in these particular specific situations has to do with the understanding. And I keep on seeing the energy working through something and saying that the ability to understand that I keep on hearing the energy that is looking towards counterpart and is assessing and articulating and saying that the space by which they are encountering counterpart is the work of that healing, right? It is, I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is looking at counterpart and saying this is the healed state of the counterpart, that the ability of doing so is what effectively got them there. And that's what I keep on seeing is happening with those temperance relationships. They are resolving themselves to the history of the counterpart in potentially doing something in a way that they themselves did not do or would not have addressed something, but also building into the absolution point and understanding that no two situations are not alike, that the space by which we make energetic choices in recognition to understanding how situations are navigated, this is a space by which the energy is finding support. They're finding support by trusting one another's energetic judgment. And so that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, I keep on hearing this is how they're navigating through a lot of those feelings, particularly and especially as it relates to circumstances in situations in the past that they may be having a lot of emotionality on. I keep on seeing they're not activating upon it. They're not doing something about it. They're finding a way to expand around it, right? So they're going through an expansion process. Now, continuing for the energy that is deep within divine union right now, clarification between our Lovers card in its reversal and our Eight of Wands in its reversal. Final card for today's spread, Strength card. The thing about the unifying vector that we're seeing across all of these frequencies right now has to do with the modality or the experience of navigating through energetic vulnerability. Because what we're effectively identifying, and here's the thing about it, I gotta kind of point this out. When we are working through both Mars and Mercury in Scorpio, it can often be the understanding. Often there are conversations that come up in relationality to transformation. And here's the thing with transformation. Whenever you need to move towards manifestation, you have to be ready to energetically transform. You cannot say, there is not a single, do not look at me and say, I would like something to manifest in my reality, but I'm not willing to effectively transform around it. Like that is rude. That is demanding. That is energetically demanding of the space by which we understand and recognize the journey. I keep a healthy manifestation goal changes us in relationality to what it is that we're moving in accordance with, right? It is the journey of becoming the self. It's the ability to effectively embody the energetic manifestation goal. But often, and this is what we talk about, like this is often what happens. And the reason I'm talking about Saturn returns right now is because the message I keep on getting is every time Saturn dips back into Pisces right now and then flops back up into Aries, we're all getting, hooray, we're all getting a Saturn return. Congratulations. You get a Saturn return, and you get a Saturn return, and you get a Saturn return. Everybody's getting a Saturn return. I don't care how old you are. Time for another Saturn return. Like, it's creating these Saturn return moments. And what is the articulation point of a Saturn return moment? A Saturn return moment is a maturation point. Now, we're used to these when we're teenagers, right? We're used to seeing these when we're teenagers, because when we're teenagers, we often understand that we're transforming. And what do we often hear in the middle of a maturation process? What is the song you will hear as you are energetically maturing at a rate that is faster than those around the self? You're going in the wrong direction. The song you will hear as you are maturing is you are going in the wrong direction, because it is often the modality by which you recognize and understand what is best for the self, and you know what that direction is. But if the energy is not maturing at the same rate that you yourself are, then often it feels like, again, this is why we talk about that like breakthrough point, because it's often the energy that articulates upon the fact that they're very frustrated to see the fact that you're energetically maturing. This is often why we talk about the reason that you can't touch Saturn's lessons, because if you make a big deal at those moments, then when someone else finally matures, they go, oh my God, I was such an idiot, right? It's like the energy that goes, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I put that person through. Now I'm energetically going through it, right? It's a lot of that space by which we sometimes have those like healing moments where someone says, I owe you an explanation and an apology because boy, was I off the mark, right? Often it is the articulation and amplification of the restoration that we often experience. The reason I bring this up is, did you notice the apologies that we are seeing right now for some of the energy in separation? There are some energy right now in separation that is reaching apologies from energy that acknowledges that someone was maturing faster than they themselves were. That is the level of transformation that we're seeing that is in separation. While meanwhile, we're seeing that the energy right now deep within divine union, what are we articulating that's happening? They're going through a Saturn return. They know that partnership is the best space they've ever been in. They've never felt more energetically stable. And what are they hearing from some of the energy outside of partnership? You're going in the wrong direction. Your priorities are all off, right? Failing to recognize that healthy maturation is understanding that we center partnership when we're like, because as we mature, we always center partnership more and more. So we see even now that for a lot of the energy working through that, it's very energetically volatile, because it's often working through the context with another person articulating and saying, you're changing, and another person saying, we are supposed to, right? Healthy energy, healthy work on the self is perpetually changing in the best ways possible. And it is the amplification of being able to articulate upon that change that helps us to energetically stabilize in relationality to what our energetic standards are. So again, and I will also say that there's something really important to notate there in relationality to, and I know that you guys are not going to like to hear this, change for change's sake is not a manifestation goal. Okay? I'm going to say this again. Change for change's sake is not a manifestation goal, but often those that are feeling too energetically fickle will articulate upon the fact that they're doing something because they want to change, failing to recognize. And this is why we talk about healthy manifestation is understanding your purpose. Because if you're constantly changing because you don't like things, then it doesn't matter what you change. A manifestation is not going to change you as you reach for it. If you're unhappy with the self and you maintain a manifestation goal, I hate to break it to you, you're going to be just as unhappy when you get there as you are here. Right? It's not the space by which you change. It's understanding what it is that we're trying to engender within ourselves. So if you're going through this right now and you're feeling like this, I want you, and again, I know that there's a lot of energetic volatility that we're experiencing in this energy. If you're feeling emotional, or if you're feeling energetically triggered, or if you're feeling like others are projecting things onto you, because I'm telling you right now, this type of energy that we're experiencing for those who haven't done their shadow work is like projection central. I want you to feel grounded and focus by reaffirming your energetic purpose. Allow that purpose to ground you. Allow that purpose to center you. Because when we're able to understand our purpose, then we are able to move towards things with progress. Purpose and progress. Bottom of the deck on this reading, Page of Wands in its reversal. So specifically and particularly, the one thing I want to articulate that's potentially also happening right now there's a lot of inner child wounds that are potentially coming up. The thing about this energy, and I'm going to just tell you right now, with Saturn and Neptune moving into Pisces, it can bring a lot of emotionality up. It can also bring a lot of emotionality up on things that we haven't necessarily healed fully from in relationality to the past. And I keep on seeing that the space by which we understand and recognize the value of the past is how it feels that it energetically supports the work going forward. It is the observation of the past that allows us to be able to do something more effectively. It allows us to feel energetically fortified on those journeys. It's not easy. And I keep on hearing, it's not about letting everything go. Right? And often I keep on pointing out, like, the thing that we have to recognize, and one thing I want you to remember, is often the space that we are triggered is the space by which, and I keep on hearing, the space by which we're triggered is often articulated in the fact that we start to act like a past version of self instead of present. So I will say that as well. If you are feeling energetically triggered, I want you to remember who you are, which is not the space by which another person makes you feel like an earlier version of self, but the space by which you're able to navigate and maintain that sense of energetic presence. That is where we find all of the energy. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my site. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone who attended our recent class on the moon card. If you missed our class this week, it is now available to any of our paid subscribers. You can find it over on the stack. Our next class is going to be held on Thursday, November 13th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Sun card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning that next class. But if you wanted to join, now is a lovely time to join because you've got a whole month to kind of catch up on any of the classes that you may want to catch before we begin our next class. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned and studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, you will also receive a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me where I will assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best impact moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. Also, as a founding member, you will have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Archive, which is access to over 20 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. I also want to let you know that even if you don't become a paid subscriber, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. I'm also very happy to now offer I'm also very happy to offer for those who are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, weekly tarot insight packages, which is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings, which can be purchased per dream or as a series. If you purchase the dream interpretation series package, I would encourage you to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I'd like to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.